It was a dark and stormy night, and Jane was all alone in her small apartment. She sat on the couch, staring blankly at the TV, not really paying attention to what was on. She had been feeling uneasy all day, like something bad was going to happen. She tried to shake the feeling off, but it only got worse as the night wore on. Suddenly, the phone rang. Jane jumped at the sound, startled by the sudden noise. She hesitated for a moment, wondering if she should answer it, but curiosity got the better of her. She picked up the phone and said hello, but there was no response. Hello, she repeated, her voice shaky. Still nothing. Jane was about to hang up when she heard a faint whisper on the other end of the line. It was so quiet she could barely make out what was being said, but she could tell it was a man's voice. She strained to listen, but the whisper was getting quieter and quieter until it was completely silent. Suddenly, the phone went dead. Jane was spooked, but she tried to tell herself that it was just a wrong number or a prank call. She decided to go to bed and forget about it. But just as she was about to drift off to sleep, the phone rang again. This time, she hesitated before answering it. She didn't want to speak to whoever was on the other end. But as she picked up the phone, she heard the same whisper again. This time, she could make out a few words. "Don't turn around," the voice whispered. Jane's heart raced as she turned to look behind her, but there was no one there. She turned back to the phone, but the line was dead again. Jane was terrified now. She didn't know what was going on, but she knew she didn't want to be alone in the apartment anymore. She grabbed her coat and her keys and ran out of the door. As she was walking down the street, she felt a hand grab her from behind. She turned around, ready to scream, but there was no one there. She looked down at her phone, and saw that she had a missed call from an unknown number. Trembling, she called the number back, but there was no answer. She tried again and again, but still nothing. Jane never found out who was on the other end of that phone call. But she never forgot the feeling of dread that had taken hold of her that night. And she never answered the phone late at night again.